All right. Second semester final review, chapter 11, 2D versus 3D. So real quickly, fill in the formulas for area. So rectangle, area equals base times height. Square, same thing, but technically s squared, but it's base times height. Triangle, same thing, except it's 1/2 base times height. Because remember, any rectangle, square can be divided into two equal triangles. So it's half of it. A rhombus or a kite is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. A regular polygon is 1/2 AP, A being the apothem, P being the perimeter. Circle, area is pi r squared. Circumference is 2 pi r, or pi times diameter, because 2r is diameter. Arc length, measure of the arc, divided by 360, that equals times 2 pi r, which is the circumference. And area of a sector is measure of the arc over 360 times pi r squared, which is the area of a circle. Kind of makes sense. All right, find the area and circumference of a circle in terms of pi and as a decimal rounded to the nearest tenth. All right, so circumference is pi times diameter. So if the radius is 9 and the diameter is 18, and area is pi r squared, so the radius is 9, so that's 81 pi. As a decimal, this would be 56.5 and 254.5. Now again, if you do 3.14 or the pi key, sometimes you'll be slightly different by off by maybe a tenth, whatever, but that's okay. Let's see, find the radius and circumference of a circle with an area of 225 pi units. Okay, well, remember, area equals pi r squared. We know the area is 225 pi r squared. So if we divide by pi, that cancels. So r squared is equal to 225. So we just take the square root, we get 15, double it, and we get 30. Again, remember, if you need to hit pause, go ahead. Find the arc length of AC. Well, we take the measure of our arc, which is 70, divided by 360, times 2 pi radius, which is 3. So if you just do 2 times 3 is 6, times 70 is 420. Sorry, wow. 2 times 3 is 6. Yeah, times 70 is 420 over 360. Okay. Which would then reduce to 7 over 6 pi, or approximately 3.7 as a decimal. Find the radius of F. Okay, so we're just working backwards here. We know the arc measure is 54. We know the sector is 290. And we put it over 360 always, times 2 pi r. So this gives us 54 equals 580 pi r over 360. And if we just crunch the numbers, we end up with a radius of 10.7. Okay, and remember, the circumference is 2 pi r, so double 10.7 and get 21.4 pi. or about 67.2 feet. Find the area of the sectors. Okay, so, oops. We have 140 over 360 times pi r squared. So we just crunch the numbers. 4 times 4 is 16 times 140 over 360. And remember, the trick is your calculator will do this for you. Okay, so 16 times 140 divided by 360, and then math fraction 56 over 9. So it does it for you. 56 over 9 pi, or about 19.5 centimeters squared. Okay, this time we know the area is 4. We know the sector, 25. We know 360 total. Pi r squared. We're trying to find the radius. So we end up with 4 equals, crunch the numbers. We end up with 1440 equals 25 pi r squared. So multiply both sides by 360. So we have no denominator. And that leaves us with a 25 pi r squared. And you're going to get r squared equals 18.33, rounded. Square root that, the radius is 4.28. Now, we just needed the radius to be able to do area equals pi r squared. So 57.5 square feet. All right, find the area of the triangle, the entire triangle. So if this is 24, that makes this 12 and 12. Okay, we're trying to find the height here. Now, if you know your Pythagorean triples, you already have this. And hopefully you write these on your reference sheet. This is 5. If you didn't know that, it'd be 12 squared plus b squared equals 13 squared. So b squared is 169 minus 144, which is 25, and that gives us 5. And then it's simply area is 1/2 base times height. So that's 12 times 5, which is 60 square feet. Find the length of one side of a square with an area 324. Well, that just means take the square root of 324. Because the sides, that's a horrible looking square, are equal, so it's s squared equals 324. So that is 18 inches, square root of 324. Find the area of the regular polygon with a radius of length of 5. Okay, so a little bit of math here to do. So we do 360 divided by 6 and get 60. So this right here is 60 degrees. But remember, we're going to need to split it. So I like to draw my triangle separate. Okay, which makes this 30, this 60, and this 90. Which means this is 5. And we're trying to find this right here. So if we use our definitions, our rules of special triangles, this is 30 right here. Okay, this is the hypotenuse. We want to go to the small side, so we divide by 2. So that makes this 2.5, which actually makes this 5. So the radius is 5 and the side length is 5, which means our perimeter is 5 times 6, which is 30. Okay. Now we need to find this side right here, the apothem. So remember, from the small side to the medium side, we multiply by radical 3. So 2.5 times radical 3. And we get 4.33. So the apothem is 4.33. Well, we have the perimeter, we have the apothem. Area is 1/2 4.33 times 30, which gives us 64.95 feet squared. Find the area of the regular pentagon with a perimeter of 30. Well, that means each of these sides is 6, which means this is 3. Well, 360 divided by 5 is 72, which means this angle here is 36. So we have the opposite side 3. We're trying to find the adjacent side. So tangent of 36 equals opposite over adjacent, which is the apothem. Remember to do the old switcheroo. So A equals 3 divided by tangent of 36. So the apothem is approximately 4.13. And then we have all we need. Area is 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. And that gives us 61.95 units squared. Right. The ratio of areas is 16 to 49. What's the ratio of perimeters? So area is squared, so we're going to square root this and get 4/7. The ratio of areas is 25/81. What about volume? Well, first we need to find the perimeter, the regular ratio, so that'd be 5/9, and then we need to cube that, which would be 125/729. So we have to work backwards and then skip to cube forwards. A square has the same area as the following shapes. The square has a side measure 16. Find the missing dimension of each of the following shapes that will give the same area as the square. Okay, well that means if it's 16 as a square, the area is 256. So if we have 256 for our area and a length of 8, we're trying to find this. That's 258x, 8 times x, base times height. X is 32. 256 divided by 8. Okay, a triangle with a height of 16. Again, 256. So this has a little bit more work to do than mental math. 256 equals 1/2 base times height. So half of 16 is 8. 256 divided by 8, 32 again. A rhombus with base 64 meters. Well, 256 equals base times height. So 256 equals 64 times height. So the height is 4 meters. Right, the area of a triangle is 70.98 square inches. The height of a triangle is 8.4. What's the measure of the base? Okay, so area equals 1/2 base time, or whatever, height times base, doesn't matter. So that's 70.98 equals half of 8.2 is 4, I'm sorry, 8.4 is 4.2. Divide by 4.2, and the base is 16.9. All right, volume is the area of the base times the height, or simply just length times width times height, because the area of the base is length times width. So you're basically just doing 9 times 5 times 6, 270 cubic meters. All right, area of the base. What is the base? The base is the two shapes that are the same. Okay? So the area of the base is 1/2 base times height. Again, we're using that name base multiple times. Okay? So 12 times 5 is 60, half of that is 30. So the area of the triangle, the base, is 30. That's this right here. And then area of the overall shape, volume of the overall shape is that area of the base times the height. And that's 420 cubic feet. Identify any cross sections that are possible. So imagine if you just took a saw and went straight down or across the side, you would get a triangle and a circle. Okay? So if you just cut through this, you get a circle like this, and a circle like this, and a circle like this. Okay? And if you cut straight down through it, you'd end up with a triangle. All right, 19, identify the type of solid. Well, it doesn't have a point, so it's not a pyramid. And then look at the end shapes. They are trapezoids, not rectangles. Right, volume is area of the base times the height. Well, area of the base is a circle, so area is pi r squared. Well, the diameter is 10, so that means the radius is 5, so the area is 25 pi. And the volume will be 25 pi times 6. So that's 150 pi. Or 471.2 cubic feet. A square pyramid has a volume of 270 cubic centimeters. The formula is 1/3 side squared, because it's a square, times the height. So that's basically 10 over 3. So if we multiply both sides by 3 over 10, we get 81 equals side squared, square root both sides, one side is 9. All right, find the surface area and volume. All right, surface area and volume. Now remember, with surface area, you're trying to find the cone, but also the area of the circle base. So surface area, whoops, I don't know what's happening there. Okay, let's try this again. So surface area is the pi r squared, so that's the circle part, plus pi r L. Okay? Remember, L is the slant height, 17. So that's pi, this is 8, because the diameter is 16, times 8 squared, plus pi times 8 times 17. So that works out to be 200 pi. Square centimeters. And the volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. Okay? Which means we need this height right here. If you recognize that it is a Pythagorean triple, it's 8, 15, 17. Otherwise, you would do 8 squared plus b squared equals 17 squared, 17 being the hypotenuse, and you'd find that it is 15. So basically it's 8 squared times 15 divided by 3, or 3 goes into 15 5 times, so it's 5 times 64, which is 320 pi centimeters cubed. Right, find the volume. Volume is area of the base times the height divided by 3. So the area of the base is a rectangle, so that's 7 times 11, which is 77, times the height, which is 15, divided by 3. Again, that's 5. So 5 times 77 is 385 cubic meters. The radius of a base of a right cone, so, whoops. Is 12. It says the height is 5. So we need to find the slant height. Again, it's a Pythagorean triple, 5, 12, 13. Or you could do 5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. And you will get 13 for the slant height. So surface area again is pi times radius squared plus pi times radius times the slant height. So basically it's 12 squared and 12 times 13, which is 144 pi plus 156 pi. So that's 300 pi centimeters squared. And again, it's surface area, so it's squared. What shape is the lateral face of a prism? That's a rectangle. What shape is the lateral face of a pyramid? That's a triangle. The base of a pyramid is a regular pentagon that measures 6 centimeters on each side. The pyramid has a height of 17. What's the volume? Okay, well, first we draw our pentagon. That's a horrible pentagon. Doing my best. Okay, so we need to do this. So 360 divided by 6 gives us 60. So this right here is 30. This is 60. Okay, if it's 6 centimeters on each side, that means this is 3. We're looking for the apothem. Okay, so the apothem is going to be 3 times radical 3. Okay. And I'm correct. 360 divided by 6 is 60, but silly me, this is a pentagon. So it's 5, which makes this 72, which makes this angle in here 36. Sorry about that. This is 36. This is 3. We're trying to find this. So we have the opposite side. We're trying to find the adjacent, so that's tangent. So tangent of 36 is equal to opposite over adjacent. So we need to do the switcheroo. So 3 divided by the tangent of 36, which is 4.13. So the apothem is 4.13. So, if you remember, volume is area of the base times the height divided by 3. We're trying to find the area of the base. So the area of the base is 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter of 30. So that's 15 times 4.13. Which is 61.95. So the area of the base is 61.95. The volume is 61.95 times the height, which we were given as 17, divided by 3. So that comes out to the grand total of 351.05 centimeters cubed. All right, the slant height of a cone is 10 centimeters. And the height is 6 centimeters. So we need to find this, which is the radius. Again, this is a Pythagorean triple, 3, 4, 5 doubled, which is 6, 8, 10. And again, if you didn't know that, you could use 6 squared plus b squared equals 10 squared and find out that it's 8. So volume is pi r squared h divided by 3. So that's pi 8 squared times 6 divided by 3. 3 goes into 6 2 times. So that's 2 times 64, which is 128 pi centimeters cubed. And here we go, last two. We know the volume of the sphere is 500 pi over 3. Well, that's equal to 4 pi r cubed over 3. So if we multiply both sides by 3/4, that will cancel this. And that will cancel that. And 500 divided by 4 is 125. So what we end up with is 125 pi equals pi r cubed. If I divide both sides by pi, I get r cubed equals 125. And if I cube root, I get a radius of 5 centimeters. Last problem for this section. Find the surface area and volume of a spherical ball with a diameter of 16 and a rate which is a radius of 8. So surface area is 4 pi r squared, which is 256 pi. Volume is 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. And that works out to a decimal of 682.6 pi. Centimeters cubed. And that's it.